Hello again everyone, Michael Friedrich here from beautiful North Carolina, and today I have one new product for review. This was basically by a viewer request and I was gladly able to fulfill that. It is for today the Vars Creme de Golenia, a shaving cream from Poland. I've used the liter before. This is the classic scent. It is a sandalwood and cedarwood cologne style scent. Unfortunately, like many of these sort of more commercial tubes, it is a metal tube. And when I brought it back from Poland 2 or 3 trips ago, unfortunately during the transition in the luggage, it just got crimped and bent and the tube split. And that's just the danger you face when you are traveling with those metal style tubes. So what I had done was I had squeezed all the cream out into a small plastic container, covered it with plastic wrap, and then just sealed the container, and the cream has been absolutely fine. So what I've done is I've simply scooped it out like it was a shaving cream, which it is, just a little bit softer. You can see it has kind of a light beige, kind of an off-white color. It has a very kind of to be expected pearlescent, shiny look to it, which many of these shaving creams do. Of course, it's hardened up a little bit because it's been sitting out. Normally speaking, you'll be in the tube and you'd have the lid shut, so it has been drying out each day a little bit, but no problem. You get it wet when you start getting the lather going, no issues. All right, before we start lathering up, let's talk about the razor. I'm going to be using today the Wilkinson Sword Classic, which I actually bought at the same time along with these 2 Polish shaving creams. So today's blade is going to be Rapira. This is the Platinum Lux. This is a 2-piece razor, so it is all plastic except for the metal insert in the handle. It has a very, very long screw post and a kind of a guarded head in the sense that there is no end. Part of the end blade doesn't overlap at all. The only thing I ever have trouble with this is sometimes getting it to drop into the head there. Sometimes the blade gets off at an angle and then it gets stuck on these on those posts right there. It just twists and you just tip it back out again. 2-piece. I just put the razor on top and just kind of fiddle. This is the only part of this razor I don't think is super hot. It's just kind of that initial getting it going. But you just sort of hold your fingers on the ends and just screw it tight. There is no overhang at all. The blade is entirely enclosed, which makes for a very safe head design. The razor edge is relatively flat, but the way that the cover works, the top cap geometry, makes for a very kind of safe, very mild, easy shave. All right, the return of one of the Steve Bento brushes today. This is the Curly Maple, which, and just to remind people that this is one of the brushes where the wood, when you move it a little bit, as you can see, the direction of the grain actually runs kind of in both directions. So as you move it, you can kind of see the vertical lines and the horizontal lines, which is a very, very cool effect. It is a giant, I think this is the 30mm knot. I just wanted to show this to you before I actually get it wet. You can just see how enormous the face of that knot is. So let's get started. I'm going to just dip the brush into some water. Make sure the knot is thoroughly wet through and through and nice and warm. It's a badger brush. You don't need to soak it. Of course you can if you want to, but there's really no particular need. It just lets it sit in warm water for a little bit. Soap is wet-ish. All I've done before I started was just rinse out the old soap scum a little bit. A bit of a dry brush, and then what I'll do is I'll just load the brush and I'll continue to add some water. This has been sitting out. This cream has a tendency to dry out. I would say, not quickly, but a little bit quickly. Not hard to load, but definitely benefits from adding a bit of water back into it while you're getting the brush loaded. So I'm going to do that now. Also, this brush sucks up a lot of soap. I'm just putting in some drops of water, as you can see. Not soaking it, just wetting it a little bit. That's sounding pretty good. A little pasty still, so add a touch of water again. Same thing, just a few drops really. Just so you can see it's wet. This is the last shave on the soap for the week, so yes, I'm going to load a little bit heavy because there's really no reason not to. Yeah, there we go. That looks very, very nicely loaded. Okay, I'm going to add a bit of water to the face of the brush, get my face wet a little bit, and we'll start building a lather. Yeah, this is 100% a commercial cream. There's nothing artisan about this. You know, this is just your standard, highly available in drugstores and supermarkets, those kind of places. The scent is definitely smells like a cologne. It has a kind of a light, at least to me, a light cedar and sandalwood scent. I regret not getting the aftershave with it. I had an opportunity to do so, but I was trying to continue to travel light, so I didn't buy it at the time, which was just a mistake on my part. All right, that clearly needs more water. I'm just dripping it onto the brush. And then, now just in response to a question on the previous video about sort of how to build and work the lather on your face. So I'm really combining these painterly strokes with circular motion to kind of build and work up the lather. But in no case am I crushing the brush into my face. I'm really letting kind of the tips and the splay of the brush do its work. That's still too dry. A little more water. And there we go. That's looking better for sure. Now I have to say, in the scheme of things, although I like this scent quite a bit, this soap has not performed for me quite as well as the leader did. Just pulling out a straight hair there. There's not really much difference in terms of performance between these two soaps, and in fact, I think they may be made by the same company, the same sort of parent company. All right, here we go. The Wilkinson Sword Classic this is the third use on this Rapira Platinum Lux blade. The first blade that I used in this, I'll just show you the wrapper for these. I was sent these to try out along with the order of the Super Iridium that I placed. I got those and those Lord blades as well. And that big blade, although I didn't expect much from it, actually did okay in this razor. I shaved with that the first couple days this week. I was frankly a little bit nervous, and I think I've used them once before in the past. But actually, not bad. This is a very easygoing razor, a very cheap, high value, in my opinion, starter option. If you're interested in getting into wet shaving, you can buy these in these plastic packs, along with 5 Wilkinson Sword blades. I think it's a great combo and very nice low price usually. Yeah, I like the scent on this. It has a kind of a nice, what I consider to be, and I think the word classic kind of applies here, what I would consider to be a very classic style aftershave scent. You know, soap works fine. There's just nothing spectacular about it. But like this razor, very easily found and at a very good price. So if you're looking for just like a really, you know, a nice high value shaving combo, this is one way to go. All right, let me lather up again. That was pass number 1. I'm just going to drip a little bit of water back onto the brush. Keep this lather good and wet. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't bad shaving cream at all. It works. It's slick. It's easy to lather. I think the scent is pretty well done, actually. But it is 100% kind of a basic commercial offering. Doesn't have any kind of fancy, super fatted layers of all kinds of extra goodies added in. It's a straight up shaving cream. A little more water. This brush has a tendency to hold on to the lather at the bottom there, so I'm just going to pull that out. You can see it's got a really nice, a nice sheen to it. You know, that metal tube that's kind of a problem because once it crimps or splits, there's really very little you can do about that. If you're using it at home, make sure that you are squeezing it from the bottom. All right, this is the across the grain pass. Yeah, the razor is very mild, very comfortable. It feels like there is very little risk when shaving with this. You do have to watch the pressure a bit because it is quite light in the hand. And although it is plastic, it's not a toy. Definitely gets the job done. Yeah, that's where the slickness begins to fall apart a little bit for this shaving cream. Any kind of residual layer is very thin, if really at all. And the fact that there is no overhang on this razor makes those kind of spots very easy to kind of take a bit of a braver approach because there's just no way for the end, the overhang to kind of catch your nose, your nostril there. All right, let's rinse. Yeah, very, I would say little residual slickness. All right, let's just put a bit more water. You can see how much lather is still stuck on the brush there. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. So much water down my arm. All right, let me just drip a bit of water back into the brush. There should be plenty of lather for a third pass. And I'll squeeze out the remainder because this brush does hold on to quite a bit. All right, so let me just squeeze out what remains in there and you'll see just, there's a lot still in there. That's a lot. All right, let's just apply that. You can see nothing really wrong with this lather. It's got a nice kind of thick, creamy density to it. There we go, and just pull out again that remainder. Just gently apply. All right, then rinse my hand. There we go. Like all soaps, this soap does not taste good. All right, final pass against the grain. Yeah, razor is very mild and very comfortable. So like for those kind of strokes where you're doing some additional buffing, really no issue at all. And in fact, you may find that you need to do a bit of additional buffing because the razor is so mild. So you can see it takes a bit of extra work there. And that's why I wish there was a bit of extra slickness to that soap. Yeah, I wonder if in Poland there's like a, you have, you know, sort of two camps. There's the people on the Warsz side and the people on the Liter side. I'm a Gillette guy. I'm a chic man. Warsz, the only creme de golenia for me. Oh, just caught myself right there. Overshaving. That's a good sign that it's time to stop. Yeah, right there. All right, time to rinse. So the soap does rinse very easily and does not leave behind kind of a, you know, kind of a tough to get off slick residual layer. Comes off pretty easily. It is, I find, drying on the face, which is to be expected with creams like this. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. But that's easily remedied with a good post shave. You'll see how that turns out. That's just being sloppy right there at the end. Put a bit of alum on that. And for the alum, all I do is just get it wet and just very gently rub it over. And I'll rinse it off in just a moment. I'll leave that sit for, I don't know, 30 seconds maybe. Yeah, that was just, that was dumb. Oh well, everybody makes mistakes. All right, let's put that away. And for today's aftershave treatment, I'm going to use the Sudsy Soapery. This is the white sage and lime. This is a very dense, kind of a thick, heavy cream. As you can see, there may be a slight amount of separation there. So if that happens, what you can do is simply close up the lid, give it a good shake to agitate it, and it'll all mix back up again. All right, I'm going to rinse off that alum. There we go. And I'm just going to dot this on my face. Now this is a dense, like I said, a bit of a dense, heavy cream. Having a bit of a moist face does help here. And you don't want to use too much because it is very rich. There we go. Yeah, I've been quite enjoying this all week. The scent is certainly a far cry from the kind of cologne style scent of the shaving soap, but it has its own kind of attractiveness. It's a little bit vegetal, a little bit herbaceous. The scent does not last long. Definitely benefits from warming your hands a little bit and helping to rub it in. If you use too much of this, you're going to end up with a bit of a kind of a sleek, shiny look. And just let it really sink in. Let that work in a little bit. Yeah, very, very nice stuff. Really like that. I realize that scent is not going to be for everyone because it is a little bit kind of medicinal maybe in a way, but I quite like it. And in terms of the way it works on my skin, works very, very well. Very nice and moisturizing. That layer stays on. Skin feels supple and well hydrated after that. Yeah, really, really like that stuff. All right, well, that's it for today. Let's just go through and wrap up with the products that we've used. I wish I could show you the real tube, but I don't. I have this fake tube, which is just obviously just a printout of the Vars tube. It's the image of it. The Vars Classic Creme de Golenia. Another wonderful Polish shaving cream. I have to say, I like the scent of this better than I like the one from the Leader, I think. But in terms of performance, I think I might give the nod to the Leader shaving cream. This works, it absolutely works. It works okay. It does not work that well for me. Now that could also be a consequence of the hardness of our water, but it is what it is. I didn't think it was quite as slick as the Leader. I do like the scent, but in terms of just basic shaving cream, really nothing wrong with it. Today's razor is another commercially available option. Very, very cheap. Still very good value. It's the Wilkinson Sword Classic. I think this is sometimes called the Sticky, with a Rapira Platinum Lux blade in there. 2-piece razor, non-adjustable, no overhang at all. Very safe to use, even though I nicked myself. And that is just proof that when it's time to stop shaving, it's time to stop shaving. That was just a careless moment on my part. The one thing about this razor I will point out is that there's something about the color and something maybe about the material. It shows soap scum immediately. It doesn't matter what soap you use, you will leave behind a white tinge of soap scum. So you just have to be careful to rinse it carefully after every use. Today's brush, this beautiful curly maple from Steve Bento, this ginormous badger knot, beautiful brush, so easy to hold. Even though this thing, people think this should be round, it actually fits into your hand. Your hand presses into that concavity. Beautiful, really works very, very well. I'm very happy to have it back. Finally, the last product for today, from the Sudsy Soapery, the aftershave balm. It's the white sage and tea tree oil, is that right? No, white sage and lime. Very, very nice product. Goes on easy if you don't use too much. If you use too much, you end up kind of having a difficult time working it in. As I said, it does tend to separate, and if it does, easy to mix up. Just agitate the container, just shake it back and forth a couple times, and it mixes right back up again. Really like the way that feels on my face. The skin feels really good. That shaving cream is a bit drying, so a product like that really adds back in some moisture and keeps your skin kind of protected and supple. Is a great way to finish that. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're done. I think we're done for today. Well, thanks once again so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you're taking to watch these videos. As always, you can of course please leave a comment or question against this video or any previous video. And until next time, I just say thank you one more time. And until next time, goodbye.